Hi, everybody. Recruiting Animal here. This is the Recruiting Animal Show on July 30th, 2025. I've just been scolding the famous Tommy Pistachio Alascio, the guy hosts. He's got 3 shows, and I have to tell him, raise your camera or lower your camera so I can see your whole face, not just your eyes, okay? Looks like he's sitting on the toilet. Shame on you, okay?
I was relaxing.
No, you don't do that on your own shows. Okay?
I don't do that on my own show, but on your show, I can relax.
Yeah, you can relax. You know what? Nobody watches the show, and here's my proof. The last show I posted, it got 31 impressions on LinkedIn, and one impression is 300 milliseconds. Figure it out.
I look at your show too, and you've been around forever, and I don't know why you don't get the views. And you have good content, you have good guests.
Well, your
I
pictures,
never figured it out.
I don't put my picture. Donna told me take your picture out of it, so I stopped taking my pictures out. It's always you and her and
what I do is I put like, if you notice, like ours is kind of like cohesive. We have a similar background for it changes colors, it may change a graphic, right? But it's always the same one, and it has the title of whatever we talked about on the show.
Yeah,
and,
I like to feature the people. Your show's different, okay? I like to feature the people who come on the show.
You could still feature them, but then, like, do you have a Recruiting Animal logo?
Anyway, I'm not interested in talking about this. I'm going to have to
cut
it out. I like what I do, and I don't think it's going to make any difference, okay? I don't think it will make any difference. Okay. So I just wanted to mention last week's show got 31 impressions. Okay. Obviously, you know what? But I like this show, to tell you the truth. Okay.
I like your show too. I come on all the time.
What about this? People don't say, people don't say hello on the phone anymore. Have you heard that? Now, why is it?
I would say
they're calling from a call center and they want to listen.
I answer the phone like this: Tom Alascio. That's how I answer the phone. I do not say hello.
Okay, no. That's not what they mean. Okay, they mean it's just I can hear them breathing. They don't say anything. Okay.
Oh, the call center stuff. Yeah, I hear that a lot. Like,
no. You're not understanding.
Okay,
hey,
I'm not
everybody.
understanding.
Tommy is smart. Okay, I'm always happy to see him on the show, but he's not picking it up today. Okay,
you're right.
Maybe it's just too foreign for him. It's not. You call them. Okay, obviously it's not happening to you. I don't think it's happening. This guy said it's a big habit. You phone someone up. They pick up the phone. You're not from a call center, and they just they open the phone. You can hear them breathing. You know someone answered, but they don't say anything. They wait for you to talk.
Oh no, I have not experienced that.
Me neither. Okay.
Yeah, I've never. Yeah, that is an interesting. Like, if I call someone, they will say hello, or they'll say, "Hey Tom," because they know I'm calling. Or
your name appears, doesn't it? What appears on this? Is it Palermo Roads or your name?
If I call from my office line, it comes up Washington D.C. 301, whatever my phone number is, or 202, whatever my phone number is. And if I call from my cell phone, it says my name.
Okay. So anyway, the heavy breathers, you haven't had that problem. Good for you, Tom. I thought it was maybe we're just not calling the right people. Okay. Now,
I could see if you were so what a lot of people don't do is they don't check to see if how their phone comes up, right? So that's an important thing. So maybe some of the recruiters you're hearing this from don't know that it says possible scam when they call, right? Or it says something weird like Timbuktu or something. So it could be that.
Okay, you know what? If your name is on it, I don't think it's going to say possible scam. If it just says Washington 301, they might say possible scam, but obviously you don't have that problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, here we go. Your candidate, okay, this is from the New York Times, okay? I don't make these things up, okay? Your candidate goes out. The interviewer asks a number of questions regarding his marital status, parental status, and his spouse's occupation, okay? He knows the questions are against your civil rights protections, but he knows that the answers he's got are good. So he answers it, but he feels guilty. Okay. Here's why. He knows there's an internal candidate who's like a single mom with 2 kids. Okay. For the same position. His wife works at home. His kids are older, so he doesn't have to take care of them during the day. He comes back to you and he says, I don't think I should take this job because I don't think this is an ethical employer. What do you think? What are you going to say to him?
Oh, I don't. That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I'll tell you what.
I don't want to comment on that one.
Okay, good for you. I'll tell you what the ethics philosopher in the New York Times said, and I agree with him. He said, "Look, there's no guarantee that this internal candidate is going to get the job if you don't take the job. Okay." In fact, he said, and you're not positive that you're going to be offered the job because of unlawful discrimination. You're just suspecting that, okay? He said, if you knew for sure, yeah, you can decline it and call the EEOC, but you don't have certainty. So you should take that job and bring your ethics into the company, okay? And uplift their culture.
Yeah,
okay?
the questions, who were the questions asked by?
The candidate.
No.
No. I don't know the role of the person. Whoever was the hiring manager.
Did he work for the company?
Yeah.
See, that's a problem, right? So that's bad training on the client. The client is like, I ask those questions, but there's a pace and there's a time to ask them, and I would never ever tell a hiring manager to ask those questions because that's really bad. That's really bad.
No. The point is, you're never going to tell the hiring manager to say, are you married? How many kids do you have? How old are they? What does your wife do? Okay. You're not going to tell them. But if they ask those questions and the candidate says to himself, this isn't right. Okay. And he feels guilty if he gets offered the job because he thinks they're prejudiced in his favor against someone else. Okay. That's your candidate wants to bow out. David M. Marr, you want to get in on this before I move on?
I didn't hear the whole context.
Okay, yeah, okay. So too late for you. Okay, I'm moving on. It's not as interesting. Tom had to wipe his face and looks tortured and say, I don't know. But I think that was a good move. You don't want to commit yourself publicly. Although I will.
That's one of the few things that is a tough call. And
I don't think it's a very tough call. I think
at the very forefront, I mean, me personally,
he doesn't know for sure.
I'm not going to comment.
Okay, I think the ethics guy gave the right answer. Okay,
that's a justification. That's a way to spin it to make yourself feel okay.
No. I mean, the ethics guy he's a tough cookie. Okay, he said if you're sure that you're getting it for out of bias, you should decline the offer and report them. Okay. That's tough talk. But this guy, he says, you don't know exactly what's going on.
How you like it?
I don't.
You don't?
Love it.
No.
That's awesome. Yes. That's great. Yes. Good job.
I think that was great. You put that on as your cover and then the pictures of me and David M. Marr and whatever around it. And then you put Recruiting Animal, June 15th with Tom.
Donna told me the problem is my picture. Okay. Donna said people see you with the sunglasses and the hat and they don't want to watch you. Okay. That you're featuring
it's really a persona that you're portraying.
It's a persona, not a picture.
Yeah, it's a persona. And I agree. I think that will help get your audience up.
Yeah, okay. I disagree. I'd rather see your faces. Although David M. Marr doesn't make it easy for me. I always have to put his set photos in there. Let me move on, okay? Okay, well, here's another one, okay? Your candidate goes out to the interview. They ask him, where do you see yourself in 5 years? He says, hopefully somewhere that doesn't schedule 5 people to ask me the same question in slightly different ways, okay? The company gets back to you and say, I'm not going to hire a smart aleck. You know it's a good candidate. And you know that's sort of a valid complaint. Or do you think it is? What would you say to your client? Anybody?
I mean, I would. So it's yeah. I'm going to talk to the client and say, hey, just so you know, the last candidate, the guy that turned the job down, he said in those 5 interviews, basically asked the same thing 5 different ways, 5 different times. Why can't we do a panel interview? Why can't we set this up where maybe 2 or 3 people together over a period of 1 day? Bragging it out on these 5 interviews is insane. We shouldn't be doing this. You're going to lose good people. I would say something like that.
Yeah, but they had multiple interviews, and this guy complained about it, right? And
that's what I'm saying. Like I need a little more information, but I would say multiple interviews.
No, so would you?
What do you
I'm
mean?
not clear. Would you tell your client, listen, Betty?
Yes, I would absolutely tell my client.
The guy had a legitimate complaint. If he's a bit of a jokester, he threw it in your face, maybe in a way you didn't like, but it's valid. You could learn from that. Would you say that?
I would. I would tell them in a very diplomatic way what the problem is.
Okay, but the problem is this guy wasn't diplomatic, and that's why they're not interested in him. Okay, would you say that's a legitimate cultural issue or personality issue?
I would say the client is ridiculous. And here's the thing, and we've said this 100 times before. If it is a individual contributor opportunity, there should be no more than 3 interviews. End of fucking story.
You're missing my point. You're missing my point. David and Mar, do you want to educate them? Do you understand what's going on here for up in heaven?
No, I'm up in heaven, so I'm looking down only.
Okay, you don't understand after I described it a few times. The guy goes out to, your candidate goes out. They say, where do you want to be in 5 years? He says, I want to be somewhere where I don't have to see a bunch of people who ask me the same question over and over again. Okay. And the
interview's too fucking long. I mean, that's simple.
Yeah. But the point is they just, I don't need any smart aleck on my team. And so, are you going to try to talk them out of it and say, look, yeah, the guy was tried to be a bit funny. Okay. But it was a legitimate complaint. And you know
what? Sometimes that's a good thing though. Be yourself. If it's not a culture fit and someone's being a douche and they're asking you a million questions and you make a comment like that, if that's going to be a reason they rule you out, I mean, you save yourself the headache.
Yeah, but Tom wants to make money. He doesn't want them to blow a good candidate for that reason.
If it's not a good cultural fit, there's nothing I can do. And I will tell you right now, I'm not going to. Me personally, if I hear 5 interviews, I'm running away like my hair is on fire.
Okay. The candidate goes out. This is called bait and switch. It's coming up a lot lately. The candidate did 3 interviews for a position he believed would pay $140,000 a year. That's what they said at the start. In the final interview, the company says the salary range has been readjusted to $100,000. If your client did this, what would you do?
It'd be like, okay, we have to start back over again. You can't fucking do that shit in the middle of the search.
You've said in the past, I will present it. I will present it to the candidate.
Well, again, if I've been closing the candidate on 120 the entire time, I'm not fucking presenting the 100.
140.
140. If I've been closing the candidate on 140, but talking to the employer and they're telling me 140, and at the end they say we've decided to do 100, then no, I'll tell the client, go ahead and make the offer. He's going to turn it down. That's what I'll tell the client.
Oh, you'll say, look, I won't make it. You make it yourself.
You make it. I'm not fucking making that offer. Absolutely not.
And you'll say, I won't make it because
he's going to turn it down.
Okay, because and why will he turn it down?
Because I've been closing him on 140. You and I have been talking about 140 since day fucking 1.
Okay. Didn't Rich Rosen say recently that the biggest reason companies, new hires quit is because people lied to them about the job?
Yeah.
A lot of times what happens internally is sometimes an internal person fills a role that they were considering him for, but they really like him. So they kind of slot him into another role that's related. And sometimes it is lower. So then they come back with a lower offer. I've seen it happen, unfortunately, multiple times.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that you've been sitting there the whole time saying, oh, yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, we're doing this. And then fucking at the end, you said, oh, we've changed our minds. We're offering you 40 grand less. No,
Okay.
No,
Would you
no,
tell-
no,
would you-
fuck no, no.
Would you tell the client this is outrageous,
Yes,
insane?
absolutely.
You would be unfiltered.
Unfucking filter. I think, dude, what the hell are you doing? We've been talking about this for weeks. I've been pre-closing the client. Now you're offering him 100. Like, dude, we're not going to get him. Go ahead and make him the offer so we can turn it down and we can regroup and decide to find you somebody with less experience for that 100 grand range.
Okay, so you're not walking away. You're not saying, "Look, you're a terrible client. I'm never working with you again." You
No,
say,
well,
"Oh,
I mean, like, okay, there's a lot of
consulting
different
them.
things that I gotta, there's so much that, like, this has never happened to me before. And I would have to be like, well, wait a second, where is the disconnect? Who came in and changed the rule? There's so much that has to be answered, right? It's just so much.
Dave,
If there's a
wanna-
moving target and somebody comes in, like sometimes a VP or somebody gets involved at the last minute, and you see this kind of change happen, that's where a reset needs to happen. Because if you were talking 140 and then all of a sudden you're looking at 100, there's a disconnect, and you definitely need to come together. And Tom's role as the partner that's being the role being outsourced to, or whatever you want to call it, he knows the market, and they need to listen and take his what he's saying, because he's in the market talking to these people.
Or even the fact that for the job order, the time we took the fucking job order until today, I got to deal with, oh, well, we've changed our minds. No. It doesn't work that way.
Okay, Tom, you said I'll take a new job order and I'll go and do a second search. You said even after these guys have shown
I know,
themselves.
and like I said, there's a lot more that has to go in with it. But I'm not gonna just run. Again, there's too many things to
Variables, okay.
Variables, but in general, if it's a good client, I'm not gonna just run away.
Okay, well, you know what? I can't imagine a good client doing this. Okay?
Exactly. So that's what I said. There's some issue we got to figure out. We got to see what's going on. Like, why did we do this? What the fuck is going on with you guys? Why did we change this?
Here's what
there's so much.
Yeah, here's
that
what
I got to figure out.
Here's what
why they're doing this.
Yeah, shut up. I'm sorry. Here's what Tanya said. Okay, I was a candidate, and it happened to me 3 times this year. Now, she saw it posted in an ad. Okay, and she said, what's going on is they put a big salary in to get the good talent to apply, and then see if they can get them for less. Okay, it's a strategy. It's a deliberate strategy. That's what she says. Anybody?
It's not a company I want to work with.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there are companies that do that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Here's a situation. Another with a client. Okay. They're dragging their heels. Okay, and you, the recruiter, say, look, Joe has another offer, and he needs to accept or decline by Friday. Okay, if we want him, we have to move fast and give him at least a verbal offer, or we're going to lose him. Okay, so your client says, hey, you're getting too pushy. You're selling too much. Okay, what do you say to the client? You're too salesy. You're too pushy.
That's what you pay me for.
What do you mean? That's what I pay you for?
So you don't want me to be pushy on sentence like this to try to get this deal closed, but I'm pretty sure you want me to be pushy when I'm recruiting candidates and bringing you good candidates and going after your competition, right? So tell me where the disconnect is. Why are we having this problem? You wanted to hire this guy. He's the right fit. We know he's going to do the job. Why are we dragging our feet? Tell me what's going on.
No,
What's
here's
the
the
problem?
answer. I'm pushy because I'm giving you true and real advice, okay? And you seem to be resisting it, and I have to push hard, or we're both going to lose on this.
Yeah,
You think-
it's just going to be. It's just going to come down to, like, what the fuck is the problem? Why are we dragging our feet? Tell me where. Again, you wanted to hire this guy, and now you don't, or now you're dragging your feet. We're going to lose them if you don't make the offer. We're fucked. Right?
See,
That's what you have to do.
Your position is probably the right one. Get more details, but I think here's why I think it's wrong. There's no reason the guy's going to take another job on Friday. You've seen him already. Do you want him or not? It's a yes or no.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean, you could do that. I mean, there's a lot of different variables that you could use in closing that. But yes.
Could I talk to the client in those terms? Hey, pal, there's nothing to decide here. It's not a big decision. Yes or no. You saw the guy. You either like him or you don't. Okay. Now's I don't want to say anything vulgar. Now's the time to do it or give up. Okay. It's you know what the saying, the real
Shit or get off
saying
the
is.
pot.
Yeah. Okay.
I say, so it's not vulgar. I say fish or cut bait.
Fish or cut bait. Okay. Dave, what if I told you something like that very directly, or your manager? Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, they need to hear it sometimes, and
Yeah,
sometimes
but
people
do they need
take
it
too
in the
damn long.
same, like you know that Batman cartoon where he's slapping Robin in the face? You
And
know
it's like
that one?
pow, bang, all that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
sometimes they need it.
Okay. But you're pushing too much. See, the real reason I included this one, because they said, "Oh, you're too salesy. You're pushing too much." And I like what Tom said. Hey, you weren't complaining about that when my pushiness got you some good people that nobody else could bring in. But you're actually saying that you're pushy. I don't think it was pushy. I don't think it was pushy at all. And I would tell him that. I'm not being pushy. I'm telling you the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Consultative.
Yeah, this is it. You can't handle the truth. That's a time to tell them that, boy, because that's their problem. They can't handle the truth.
Can't handle the
Jerry
truth.
Maguire.
Who?
Jerry
Jack
Maguire.
Nicholson.
It's the line from a movie.
No,
No,
Jack
you can't handle the
Nicholson.
truth is from
Two good men.
something good men, a few good men.
Yeah, a few good men. Yeah, Jack Nicholson screaming and yelling.
Jack Nicholson, Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Yeah. Show Me the Money is the other one. That's
Jerry
from,
Maguire.
right.
That's Jerry
Jerry
Maguire. Get it straight. You must be getting Alzheimer's or something. Okay.
I'm just being an animal.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. here's you know I was blabbing before you guys came on that you know about how my postings, and people don't want to watch a whole show. I think that's 30 or 60 minutes long, or like Tom's 90 minutes. Okay. But they watch the shorts. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing a lot of shorts now from Tom and from Digital Recruiter. And I have to say, I watch those, but there's other recruiters with shorts. I don't watch them. They're not all interesting. But I've been watching the Digital Recruiter, and he says when you're posting, lots of recruiters are posting online on LinkedIn, but they're not posting the right stuff. He said you should be posting 3 things from your own personal experience: judgment calls, interview tells, like signs that they should be looking for in an interview, whether to tell them that if the candidate, subtle things, if the candidate's good or not appropriate, right? And finally, you should be talking about the process you use when you're sourcing candidates, interviewing them, presenting them. Let people know exactly what you're doing. Judgment calls on candidates or whatever topic, interview tells, and your overall process. Those are the things you should be talking about. Anybody disagree with them?
No,
I think
I mean,
there's
that's
more
if you're
that you
trying to
should add,
attract
too.
candidates. Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
I think you should also talk about wins that you have, interesting, unique content or situations that arise. That way people can learn from them, especially if it's something that maybe you haven't had before.
No, give me an
Things that,
example.
like,
I don't know what you're talking about. First of all, no,
you
but
have a
let me
weird-
stop you. Wins is too braggy. Okay. Hey, I closed a big deal this week, $100,000, right? I
No,
see
I'm
that.
talking about wins that are like unique, like interesting, unique content that people give a damn
Well,
about.
give me an example. You don't know what you're talking
you
about, right?
were working on a search and you ran into some issue or whatever it was, and you did a process that somebody else
got
didn't
one.
know about
And you're done,
on the
Dev.
site. Use a new tool, learn about a new tool. It helps you get a hire, and because of that new tool, you got to hire. I'm just making up something on the fly, but there's stuff that's interesting that I see people post that people relate to, in the community. It's not just tells and all that. I mean, that's good and all, but you should have it like interesting content.
How's this one? Because you made me think of something. So, peeps out there, don't think leaving messages, don't think going above and beyond doesn't fill that search. Let me tell you what I did. I was looking for a shredder manager in Pittsburgh. Everybody I called couldn't find a guy. Found this guy. It was perfect. And you know what? Every phone number I had for him, couldn't get a hold of him. Found his Facebook page, saw he had all these tattoos. I left a message at the tattoo parlor for him. And guess what? He called me back, was interested. I placed him $32,000 fee for a shredder manager in Pittsburgh because I left a message at the guy's tattoo parlor. If you don't think going above and beyond doesn't fill a search, it does.
Okay. Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah. That's a good one. But you're going to run out of those. That reminds me of this guy told us, I've mentioned it many times because it's such a fun story. The guy was working in a big recruiting office. There was one famous developer that nobody could recruit ever. Okay. This guy did a research just like you, discovered this guy had a blog, and on the blog, he discovered the guy loved Flaming Hot Cheetos. Okay. And so he sent him an email, and the subject line was Flaming Hot Cheetos. And the guy answered, and he recruited him. Okay. So he did the research like you did, and it was an offbeat message. It was yours was
100%. I use that when I look at a LinkedIn profile, and if like a simple one, and you probably are sick of hearing me saying this. My wife says I bring it up too much, but I play rugby, right? So if I see someone plays rugby, I will say, he'll answer the phone like, "Hey, this is Tom. Thanks for taking my call. I'm a headhunter, whatever." And then if he's receptive, I said, "By the way, are you a hook? Are you front line, back line? What's the deal?" And he'll think for a second, he'll start laughing. And if he says he's backline, I go, "Oh, well, great. We did all the work so you could get all the glory." And then he'll laugh, and all of a sudden it's instant camaraderie, right? So yes, things like that really go above and beyond in terms of making you stand out from other recruiters.
Okay, but there's a problem here. The Flaming Hot Cheetos, how many people that's their hot spot? With the rugby, how many people play rugby? I mean,
no, you're not paying attention to what I'm saying. There's something for everyone.
No,
right?
there isn't.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. There's something for everyone. If it's public information, you go to their Facebook and see they like to fish, or they have a Jeep and they're really into the Jeep culture, or they're a Ravens fan, right? There are so many little things. And there are some people who don't expose all their like favorites or whatever, and that's not going to work. But you can find those things.
The thing is, oh, wait a sec. With the rugby, you play rugby, so you were hooked them in with your insider's knowledge.
Yes,
you don't have it for all those other things.
Again, it's about finding something that you can relate to or bring up. There's animal. I can give you examples. We can sit here for the next fucking half an hour and give you examples.
Yeah,
colleges. Like if they went to Auburn, right? You can kind of make a tongue in cheek. Oh, you went to Auburn. I only like Clemson graduates, right? Or Georgia Tech versus the Georgia Bulldogs. Like you can football teams, soccer or association football, right? However you want to do it, you just have to find something. It's one little thing that separates you from everybody else that makes them go, "This guy's real. This guy's different."
Yeah, that's exactly when you're being not real. Okay. I read this book by this woman, and I talked to her online once, and she said when she went to work in an office, she started reading the sports pages because she was having trouble building rapport with the other people in the office. They're all men. So she read the sports so she could talk to them about sports. So for you're saying, it sounds like you're saying it's really important. It's really important to know the college football, right?
Anything. Like it could be anything. It can be college football, right? It can be lacrosse. It can be regular football. It can be, if it's a chess, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what it is. It's just finding something for that, like as David M. Marsar, that win. You're not going to do it every time, but when you do it, it really helps. It really makes a difference in recruiting or in business development.
Okay, but last week we said, but don't talk about their kids, right?
No, well, again, that was an interview, and no, I'm not on a cold call. I'm not bringing up anything about anybody's kids at all.
Okay.
Unless we start talking and the guy says, "Well, yeah, I have 3 kids." And I say, "Well, what are they?" He may say that, they're in this sports, and we can talk about that.
Okay. Even if you look, just like you said, you look people up on their Facebook page. If they
I ain't bringing up the stuff about their kids.
Okay.
Ain't no way. That's too stalky.
Okay. But wait 1 second. I want to get to, I think David M. Marr tried to say something a few minutes ago, but wait, let me thank you for creating that. It's very nice of you to even try. And it only took you like 2 minutes to make that illustration for the show that's behind you. You just did it, right? You did it.
While we were talking. How?
How'd you do it?
Well, so I went in. The first thing I did was I took a screenshot of you talking while we were sitting here.
Yeah.
And then I dropped that into ChatGPT and said, hey, I need a logo for a show called The Recruiting Animal. And I want it to be this guy is the host and make it a character of him. And that was it. So it made that. And then I dropped this into Canva and then went to the online group and found the piece at the bottom, with the here at the bottom that has all the pictures of Dom and whatever, and then drop that into the Canva thing, match the background to the animal part, and then just labeled it. That was it.
So it didn't take you 10 minutes if I'm.
Yeah. It's just really easy fucking stuff.
Wow.
Like for because I do it every week for my show. So like here's the full
What
thing.
is Canva
right?
used for? I've heard of it, but I haven't used it.
Like that's the full thing.
Very impressive.
Right. And so all I did, like, whoops, where's Canva? Right. All I did was, right. So all this stuff moves around, right? That was it.
Uh-huh. Very good. Is even David M. Marr is there in tiny version at the very bottom. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, and I was thinking maybe what you could do is put it like this, each picture around it.
I see. Yeah. Uh-huh.
The one there, one all the way around it. If you wanted to have like, had Donna's picture there, and then his picture.
Yeah, we
here.
get the drift. Okay, I have to
Yeah.
move on from this because I'm interested. Our audience is, and I'm gonna have to cut stuff out. Okay, Dave, though, it seemed you wanted to say something about whatever it was we were talking about before. About relating to people with their rugby or their Cheeto fetish.
No, it's basically it's like building rapport with your candidates. If you do your research and you understand what they demonstrate on their profiles, similar to like Tom said, not to the stalkerish point, but their hobbies, they're interested in Star Wars or whatever, and you incorporate it into your messaging or your conversations, it helps you build rapport with the candidates, and they understand that you actually take the time to.
What if you get on and say, hey, I saw you like Star Wars.
If you're awkward about it, it's going to be awkward. I'm not talking about being awkward. I'm talking about using it in like a professional, like rapport building manner. Not like being weird or awkward,
Okay. Well, yeah, I got to tell you, every time I've ever tried that, it doesn't work for me. Okay.
Maybe you're doing it in an awkward manner.
I would say you like
your
Star Wars.
communication
Isn't that
style.
for little kids. Okay. How old are you? Okay.
I'm 45.
No, I didn't ask you. I said I would tell the candidate. I'd say, like, I see you like Star Wars. What's wrong with? Okay, yeah, well, if you were 10 years old, I'd say, okay, that's something to brag about. You're too old for that. Take it down.
So
That's
what I find funny is that a same person will say that will know every single player on their professional football team, what they do in their spare time, who they're married to, right? Like, what is the difference of knowing all this about football, which you can't play? I'm too fucking fat to play football, right? But
well, you play rugby. You must be pretty
everything
tough.
about it.
That's
What's the difference that
sport.
in Star Wars?
Rugby's a tough sport without any pads or anything like that.
But again, like football, what does that have to do, right? With
you missed my point. I'm going to move on. Okay. Richie's not here for me to use his own words against them or his copywriter's words. Rich says, I've worked with a lot of great salespeople. Almost none of them waste time debating the perfect way to start a cold call. They just start, okay? You know who does spend hours overthinking their opener? The people who don't actually want to make the call, okay? I don't think that aren't the best salespeople the ones who think a lot about their strategy and tactics to get it just right?
I mean, I do have a couple openers that I use that I did think about, right? And I have changed them in the past. So to say that they spend all their time thinking about their openers, if they are spending all their time thinking about their openers and not making calls, then yes. But there's nothing wrong with, I know you're busy. I'll be brief. Hey, Animal, this is Tom Alascio. I know you getting your day interrupted by me wasn't on your list of things to do today, but if you give me 30 minutes or 30 seconds of your time, I'll tell you why I called. I mean, there's a couple I have that I use, right? So
Okay,
it
so
just
did
depends.
you spontaneously do them, or did you thought about them, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know you're busy. I'll be brief. It's like that comes as natural as to hi, how are you today?
Uh-huh.
Right. So that's one that I always use. And
I
use
like
forever.
that actually. That's because it's brief. The other one was too wordy. The other one you gave a second ago was too wordy.
Yeah. So hey, Steve. This is Tom Laschio with Palambra Rose. I know we've never spoken before, and I know you're busy. I'll be brief. I'm a headhunter. I specialize in structural engineering. I've recently retained by one of my top clients to search for an individual. Yeah.
Okay, Dave, do you want in on this? Do you have anything to say about it?
No, I think brief and to the point is best to go.
Yeah, that's not the point. The point is, and I think Tom, he likes to always get down on certain things to the details. He said it's okay to think about what you're going to say, to plan, to make a good call, but don't overdo your planning. And I guess that's what Rich was trying to say as well, but that's not how it came out. His came out, just do it. Don't think about it. Just pick up that phone and get on. Okay.
What is that? Those who fail to plan,
Plan to
those
fail.
who fail. Yeah, exactly. So planning, part of that planning is your. I don't care how good you are. You need a script of some sort, whether it's bullet points or a full script, right? You
Or
can't
even
remember
like a
everything.
framework, even if you're not
Yeah,
like
framework.
scripting
Yeah,
it.
like so every good sales guy, every good cold caller, recruiting or business development will absolutely have a script in front of them. Something along the lines of, my name's Tom, first name, I know you're busy, I'll be brief, bullet points about the job, or whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable, because you'll forget shit.
Okay. Now, Tom actually had a tip about making a cold call. If it's good for a business development or for trying to recruit a candidate. He said, you know what? You got to have your rebuttals ready, okay, for the standard objections, but don't push it too far, okay? If they say no a few times, be great.
Know when to walk away. Know when to move on.
When do you walk away, though? You didn't specify.
There is no, I can't tell you that, right?
Well,
it could be after the first rebuttal.
No, 3. I'll try 3 times and then I walk away, right?
Yeah, in most cases, yes. In most cases, but there's exceptions to every rule. If the guy's a fucking asshole, my first rebuttal, I'm probably not going to go to a second one, right? And if I go through 3 rebuttals and they're still kind of reluctant, but they're willing to talk, I may stay on the phone. It just depends.
Dave, you don't seem like a rebuttal guy, are you?
I mean, when I used to do cold calling, yeah, I would.
Well, you source people now, okay?
Yeah, but I don't have to cold call much anymore, so I don't do it that often.
Well, hold on. You're still getting in touch with someone, even if they're in the database, okay?
Yeah, but I get basically what I go for is I go for a response. I get them to respond to me. I'll use multiple message outreach cadences, sometimes 7, sometimes 9. That's usually about as far as I'll go, because I know that they're busy and they may haven't had a chance to respond. And by using different channels, they'll usually respond to one of them. If they see you're persistent, know it's not spam and that you're not a hacker or whatever, then they usually respond and say, hey, thanks, timing's not good. Check back in 6 months.
Okay,
right?
and that's the point at which Tom would give a rebuttal, okay? But you don't offer a rebuttal.
Do you know, most people, like the point of the first rebuttal is to make sure the objection is real, right? That's why we use rebuttals, to make sure the objection is a real objection or just trying to get you off the phone, right? So I'm happy where I'm at, right? I'm trying to find out, are you really happy where you're at? Or are you just saying this because you get called by recruiters all the time? It's a way to get me off the phone. Send me a resume. Why? Because you really have an opening? Or is it a way to get me off the phone, right? So any objection that you get, when you're cold calling or whatever, is the idea behind the rebuttals is it a real rebuttal? Is it a real objection? Let's figure it out. And can we overcome it?
Okay. And do you actually use that? Do you say, or you know what, is that real? Or are you just trying to get me off the phone? Do you
you didn't see that short I use?
I watched it, obviously.
There's only 3 reasons. I've been doing this for 27 years, and I found out there's only 3 reasons why someone says, send me a resume. 1, because they actually have an opening and they're excited. I got a good candidate for them. 2, they get called by recruiters all the time who send them about this great candidate. Turns out being a friggin' schmo. Or 3, they're too nice of a guy to tell me to go pound sand. And wants to get me off the phone. Which one is it?
Okay. So if you actually said, though, I like the one you just said, look, is that real objection, or do you really just want to get me off the phone?
You just want to get me off the phone. That's
and
basically what it is.
What kind of response are you going to get?
I get everything from holy shit, I've never been asked that before. You caught me off guard. To, no, we don't, seriously, we don't have an opening, and I was just trying to get you off the phone. Or, yes, man, I got an opening, and you kind of got me intrigued, right? So it's everywhere in between.
Okay, so that word, see, because that one reminds me of what that candidate that said gave the smart aleck answer. Okay, some people don't like smart alecks. Okay, and so
again, animal, I am not here to make friends, and if this guy gets offended by my rebuttal, I know when to move on.
Okay, so Dave, what do you think of his approach? Where, like, I'm impressed, Dave, that you go to 7 or 9 approaches. Okay, you're not afraid to bug them because that's what you're doing. Okay,
I'm persistent.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
I don't bug anybody. I am presenting an opportunity to you that is better than the one you have now. If you think I'm bugging you, then you're an idiot who's going to land stay at your same company for the rest of your life.
Dave,
don't ever say I bugged you. Don't ever fucking tell me I bugged you.
He's bugging them. He sends them 9 emails, right? That doesn't
No,
take
he's not bugging them. He's making them aware of an opportunity that is going to enhance their life.
Yeah, if they're not interested, there's a lot of noise and distraction. So when you're using passive platforms or channels, you have to be persistent. A lot of them end up in spam, or they never receive them, or get blocked by spam filters. So that's why you're persistent. You try different channels.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. But you're not persistent enough to try to push back on someone who says, Dave, I'm not interested right now.
If I was on the phone, I would, but not through email. I don't think it's an appropriate channel to do that.
Well, why not?
Because it's not going to be received and they're not going to respond.
It's difficult to overcome objections on email. I mean, people ask me all the time, I'm like, there's really nothing you could do because you don't know, like, if you send the next email with, I know you said you might have thought you're happy where you're at, but like, it just doesn't work. There's no real, unless someone responds back to me, I'm happy where I'm at, then I might type out that rebuttal, right? Like, I didn't call you because I thought you weren't happy. If you weren't happy, you'd call me. The reason I called because I have an opportunity is better than the one you have now, blah, 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 blah. It's worth talking. Why wouldn't you take 5 minutes out of your day to see if this is a better opportunity in every way, shape, and form than the one you have now and could enhance you and your family's life? Why wouldn't you?
I find that your sales persona is different from your regular show persona. Okay, I just find it different. It's not you're anyway. It is salesy. It's very salesy, and I don't find you to be salesy in your regular conversations. Okay, but maybe you're successful, so that's fine. I'm going to move on. This is Rich again. Okay, if your company is a mess, tell the candidates right away. You don't want to hire someone who thinks everything is fine, only to find out on starting that it isn't as advertised. Would you want your client to tell you that on the intake session, everything's lousy here right now, and then would you go out and tell the candidates it's a mess there, they need someone to come in and help them clean it up?
Yeah, that's the whole point of why the client's telling you that. We're in shambles. I need a sales manager to come in and get my sales team in place. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Find me a sales manager.
Well, no, you're taking that it means for a managerial job where this person can straighten it out. What if it's for a sales rep who's coming into a company that's not being well run at the present time?
You can, so you ask the employer, the question is, okay, why would someone want to come work here then? And are you willing to bend on your qualifications, considering that good salespeople aren't going to come to a company in shambles, and I'm not going to lie to anybody. And if you're looking for a recruiter to lie to them and tell them how great you guys are, I'm the wrong recruiter.
Okay, well, the point is, if this company is honest with you and telling you it's a mess, okay, they obviously want you to go, or they probably don't mind if you go out. But would you ever tell someone, look, it's a mess,
yes.
and they're looking for a savior?
You have to.
You're actually, you can't use the part that you added. They're looking for a savior, someone to come in and clean it up for them. That's not part of this formula.
No, but I'm going to still be honest with them. If it's a sales, hey, look, I got an opportunity. It's not. And I'm letting you know right now, the company's in shambles. They're not on the verge of bankruptcy or anything, but they got a serious issue in the sales management department. So coming in could be hit or miss, right? I mean, like, you got to be honest with it. You can't lie.
Why would anybody take a job or even look at that company? I think I'm probably not going to work on that search.
And if I do, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to out of work candidates, open to work candidates, guys who apply to ads. I'm going to tell them, hey, they want to talk to you, but just be warned. I was talking to the CEO and they got issues. They're in shambles right now. I want you to know that going in, you have to be. I don't know how many fucking more times I can say this. You got to be honest.
Okay, yeah. No, but what I think you said was valid before. I will not work on this search unless the client gives me a very good reason why someone would want to come in there. What's the benefit? Okay. Yeah. Or you had a candidate who's, been out of work for 6 months and is desperate.
And you still tell the desperate candidate that. You still tell them, hey, they got issues. You still do it. You have to be honest. Okay. Right? Like that's why people hate recruiters. Well, not all of them, but one of the reasons why people hate recruiters is because they lie. They say how great the company is, and how great the opportunity is, and how great everything is about, and then the guy gets in there and it's a fucking in shambles, right? Or it's a shit company, or they got a bad reputation. And the candidate tried to, and then the client or the recruiter went over and over to try and hide all that shit, right? I hate recruiters that do that shit. It's all about making the placement. They don't care about the candidate and they don't care about the company.
Okay. I'm going to do some ads now to close the show. Dave, do you want to, are you still available for work for the right people?
I'm doing consulting right now, but I'm still looking for a full-time position.
As?
Ideally a technical sourcer, remote.
Technical sourcer, remote. Okay. And do you have an elevator speech that plugs yourself about why someone would be interested in you?
Come from a technical background. I know how to source the wide variety of ways.
He needs a lesson in self-presentation.
No,
am I right about that? Come on.
He wasn't ready.
No,
David M. Marr is a great sourcer. If you bring him on board your team, he's got 25 plus years in technical sourcing. He knows how to deep dive source and actually recruit the candidates for you. He's not just gathering names and finding resumes for you. He will go above and beyond and find the person's background, what they're doing, present you with a great candidate with a great summary. He's the guy you want working for your team.
Right? What about that? I've recruited hundreds of people, and here's some of the titles I've worked on a regular basis. Is that good too?
I mean, you can throw that. Yeah, and from front and back end developers all the way up to CEOs at Fortune 500 IT companies. I've sourced those type of people. And not only can we source them, I can find them, I can recruit them, and I can bring them to you with resumes and data sheets. Something like that.
Okay.
He's that good.
Okay. Dave, you should show us some. I know it doesn't sound like you want to, but you should show us sometime that you've got an elevator speech, a highly polished one, and you've got access.
Elevator pitch. Stop saying speech. It's a pitch.
Okay, whatever. Okay,
got a presidential speech.
And you should, take advantage of. Tom would take a phone call from you, and he'd coach you on the phone for a little if you wanted to. Do that. I'm just saying. I'm offering his. I'm offering his services.
I just pulled up his LinkedIn profile. I'm a talent sourcing, recruiting strategist, technician, and a research specialist. I've had 25 plus years in sourcing technical roles, from front end developers to back end developers to heads of IT. If you need someone who knows how to dig deep into sourcing, I'm your guy. There's your elevator pitch.
Okay, but he's got to liven up the way he says it. Like, he doesn't say it like he's enthusiastic. Okay, I'm just telling you. Okay. You can say, I'm never coming back on the show again. You criticize me too much. But I'm trying to help you. Now we don't have a problem with Tommy. He's going to advertise his shows. You want me to do it, or do you want
Ask a Headhunter live every Tuesday at 5 p.m. and then 12:30 on Fridays with the Recruiter Round Table. Everyone is welcome. It is a web show for noobs and dinosaurs alike. And then the third Thursday every month, we do a Loxo and Job In Roundtable for Loxo and Job In users, or people who want to be Loxo and Job In users. And that's 4:30, the third Friday of every month.
Okay, I'm going to add something. When he says Loxo and Job In, those are applicant tracking systems, ATS. Okay, and so if there's always people on Facebook looking at different applicant tracking systems. It doesn't have to be Job In or Loxo, but you call in and talk to these people. They've tried tons of them and they know them inside out. It would be a lot of fun for you. There's always saying, I'm looking, I don't know what to do. Call that show. Okay.
That we have Crelate users, we have PC Recruiter users, we have Bullhorn users, we have Big Biller users. So yes, we can get all your questions answered. And if I can't answer them, I can find somebody who can. So yes,
Okay.
all
Yeah.
3 shows.
Okay. But the other thing is, what's the difference between your Tuesday night show or Tuesday evening at 5 o'clock show? And I met with PinRep yesterday. Yeah. Let me finish what I'm saying. What's the difference between your Tuesday show and your Friday show? It sounds like they're very similar. Am I right
The
or
Tuesday
wrong?
show is strictly ask me anything. There's not a topic. We don't discuss the topic. It's not really an open discussion forum as much as it is you call in and you ask, hey, Tom, how do you fix this? Hey, Tom, how do you do this?
Okay.
Hey, Tom,
So
what's up
you're
with this?
just responding, whereas you bring the topic on.
I did the Tuesday show because I get called a lot from people that say to me, hey, Tom, can you help me with X? Or can you help me with Y? And it started to get overwhelming, right? And so I set the show up, and that's when I tell people, now come on the show. If you have a question, I'll show you how to do it. And if it's something you want to do in private, then we can schedule something.
I got
But
to
it
get
got
to that
overwhelming.
Tuesday show. I got a Tom, but Dave, I want to hear. You want to tell us about your experience with Pin?
No, it's a new tool that was highly recommended as a very top-notch sourcing
Rich
tool.
loves it. Rich thinks it's
Yeah.
great.
Well, they contacted me. I hadn't heard of it. And the people that I respect said that it was started by a gentleman who had another tool that was really good that was bought by Greenhouse that started it. So I had a
What
brief demo
tool
of
did
it
he used to have?
I can't remember off the top of my head. Interstellar, that's what it was.
This is the guy who used to own Interstellar. Okay.
Yeah, well, one of the founders basically started Pin. So and
to answer your question, the co-hosts are super excited about having demos again. And right now we've kind of they put the kibosh on it. That's why I haven't gotten back to him. And I owe him probably an email, and I'm sorry.
yeah, I was just saying he said he hadn't heard from me yet. So
yeah.
Okay, that's it. He likes Pin. Yes, you like.
I mean, everybody who uses Pin seems to really like it.
Yeah, but what about
I'm not
Dave?
a big
Dave?
email guy, but it's supposedly for the people who like
I haven't
email.
used it yet. I had a demo of it, and I'm gonna probably sign up for the free trial of it. So I'll
Okay,
be
so
able to report on it
did
once
you?
I do.
Okay, let me nail you on this.
Think.com.
You saw the demo. Did you like it or not? Yes,
Yes,
or
I did.
no?
Yes, I
Okay,
did.
there you go. Finally, thank you. Pin.com. Okay, that's the end of the show. Thanks, everybody. I had a good time as usual.
Always a pleasure, Animal.
As I said, this is only going to get 31 milliseconds of somebody's time on LinkedIn. It's going to be there later
Well,
this
if you
week.
want me to make you a different
No,
one than that,
I'm not worried about
I'm
it.
more, look, Animal. You saw it takes me 5 minutes.
I could do it if I was into that. I like putting up your pictures. Okay, that's what I like.
I think you should still put up our pictures, but I think you should
Not in
incorporate a
small
logo.
forms. I don't want that picture of me in the center, like, hey, everybody, look at an animal here. Talk to everybody later. Dave,
Later.
Tommy, Solonsky. Okay, bye-bye.